Industrial instruments must communicate with PLCs, computers, and SCADA system. In this video, we will understand RS485 converters and protocol communication systems. In the previous module, we have learned about multi-channel scanners which allow monitoring of multiple sensors using a single instrument. Now, we will move to another very important concept in modern industrial automation, and that is data communication system. Today, industries do not only measure parameters, they also need to transfer measurement data from instruments to computers, PLC systems, and monitoring platforms. This communication between instruments and control systems is called data communication. In this module, we will understand RS485 converters, data communication converters, protocol conversion, and how these devices help to connect different instruments together. Now, let's understand this with a simple example. Imagine a factory where there are 10 temperature transmitters, 5 pressure transmitters, 3 humidity transmitters. All these instruments are installed at a different location in the plant. Now, the control room wants to monitor all these measurements on a central computer. Instead of running many separate wires, industries use communication network. These networks allow multiple instruments to send data through a single communication line. This makes monitoring system more efficient and organized. One of the most commonly used communication system in industrial automation is RS485. RS485 is a communication standard used to connect multiple devices on a single network. It allows instruments such as transmitters, sensors, controllers, and data loggers to communicate with each other. Now, RS485 communication is reliable and works well in industrial environments where electrical noise is present. Another advantage of RS485 is that it allows multiple devices to be connected on the same cable. This reduces wiring complexity and installation cost. Sometimes, different devices use different communication interfaces. For example, a computer may use USB communication, but industrial instruments may use RS485 communication. To connect these devices together, we use RS485 converter. An RS485 converter changes the communication format so that devices can talk to each other. For example, USB to RS485 converters, RS232 to RS485 converters. These converters allows computers and industrial instruments to communicate easily. In many industrial systems, instruments may support different communication methods. For example, some devices use RS485, some devices use Ethernet, and some devices use serial communication. To connect these systems together, industries use data communication converters. These devices convert one communication type into another type. For example, RS485 to Ethernet converter, serial to Ethernet converter, and these converters allow industrial instruments to be integrated into a larger monitoring systems. Another important concept is protocol conversion. Communication protocols define how data is structured and transmitted between devices. Different devices may use different protocols. For example, Modbus RTU, Modbus TCP, and other industrial communication protocols. Sometimes two systems cannot communicate directly because they use different protocols. This is where protocol converters are used. Protocol converters translate data from one communication protocol into another. This allows different devices to communicate within the same system. Now let's consider a practical example. A factory has several temperature transmitters installed across the plant. Now this transmitter communicate using Modbus RS485. The plant wants to monitor all temperature values on a central computer system. The computer uses Ethernet communication. So the engineer installs RS485 to Ethernet converter. Now the transmitter sends data through RS485. The converter translates this data into the Ethernet communication, and the central monitoring system can now read all the temperature values. This is how data communication system integrate multiple instruments together. Now, data communication systems are used in many industrial environments. Some common applications includes industrial automation system, building management system, SCADA monitoring systems, energy monitoring systems, and there are many like environmental monitoring system also. These systems allows engineers to monitor and control large networks of sensors and instruments. In this module, we have learned what data communication systems are, why communication is important in industrial automation, We also discussed RS485 communication, RS485 converters, data communication converters, protocol conversion, and these technologies allow instruments to communicate with control system and monitoring platforms. Now, modern industrial systems depend on heavily on data communication and networking. By connecting sensors, transmitters, controllers, and computers, engineers can monitor processes efficiently and make better decisions. Understanding data communication system helps application engineers to design complete automation and monitoring solution for their customer. In the next module, we will learn about industrial monitoring software and Modbus system, which allows engineers to visualize and manage data from multiple instruments. So thank you so much for watching. See you all in my next video.